Dream, no limitation to what you can. There's a dream I lack in the soul of every man. If I could tell the world how I feel this music, I hope the end don't make you think I'm way to begins. Dream, no limitation to what you can. There's a dream I lack in the soul of every man. If I could tell the world how I feel this music, I hope the end don't make you think I'm way to begins.
Well, happy New Year, guys. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. So today, so late last year / early this year, I think the first 2-3 days of this year, there were a lot of questions I was asking myself, things I did not process or I haven't really sat down to process, as regarding what the dream looks like and the journey and the path to get there. So I decided to document and share. So let's go. Well, how do we define doing anything? Ability, opportunity, or belief? Well, I think it's a balanced combination of all three: ability, opportunity, and belief. As regards opportunity, your ability is very important to the present. So what you can confidently do in this current time and place, and what you can do excellently too. You take out time, you take out resources and dedication to learn something new, and people might admire what you do. They respect and value what you do and what you can do. But it's like one of my pastor's wives says, how do you show people your excellence without using words? And it's by showing them the evidence of your excellence. And we have belief because it's the main thing, where the mind reinforces the drive that powers both the opportunity you might have and how to take them, and also that your ability is a living thing. It can grow and it can improve. So your ability is a living thing. Belief is the seat of the mind in regards what you can do in chasing your dreams. Then also how we operate from a place of privilege, and how aware we are of ours, how aware I am of mine. Privilege is one thing that we also really act hypocritical around, especially as Africans. We lean towards a good grass to grace story. I was poor, I started from the trenches, but now I'm at the top. It's a crazy thing, because if success is the goal and climbing the ladder to the top is what matters, then does it really matter how many steps we take while going up? Because, privilege should be leveraged. Learning to take the opportunities offered to you is wisdom, and they won't always look like the pattern you are used to, because opportunities itself are diverse. They can come in different ways. They're really diverse. I can list a lot of things that to me have been opportunities I wouldn't have seen as opportunities if I wasn't open-minded. I know there is mega privilege and there is little to no privilege. So looking at where we stand and acting accordingly is wisdom. Awareness and wisdom is the whole point when we talk about operating from a place of privilege. And then we have the part where they say putting your heart and your soul into it. I love that phrase, but what does it really look like in the process itself, especially when it's getting really difficult? It's easy to say, put your heart and soul into this. Or they'll tell you, put your pea into this grind, or put the grind into this pea. I don't know how that statement goes, but the real look of it is messy and scary. It looks like showing up when you're frustrated and doing the unglamorous parts of the work that nobody sees or claps for. You remember what I said about excellence being evident? So yeah, that's where putting your heart and your soul into it. It means you care enough about the quality of the work, even when you are the only one looking at it. It's an internal drive, that force that won't let you settle for it's good enough or it's just okay. It's a level of obsession. Yeah, it's the obsession. Yeah, I like to call it obsession. It's a level of obsession where the work becomes an extension of who you are. Even so, when it's hard, you can't just walk away, because you would be leaving a piece of yourself behind. Putting your heart and your soul into it means a lot of time you won't get applause, you won't get recognition, but you stay because, aside from the fact that you're doing this because you want to become successful, it's a part of you now. Okay, and another thing I want to talk about is what it feels like chasing the dream as a formerly gifted kid. Now, first of all, I don't think there's any such thing as formerly gifted kid. I think there is adulthood, and I think there is being a child. Andy Mineo said something in his song 1988, if I remember correctly. Yeah. He said, when I was younger, I heard that I had lots of potentials, but I don't hear that anymore. What I hear now is the rent is due. Beautiful. So, talents and potentials for me are for kids. They are for children. When you become an adult, that's what is now expected of you. Okay, if you see a 5-year-old kid doing something really amazing, it's probably the person is very good at singing. I mean, it's very, very good. But seeing a 25-year-old girl or guy do the same thing is impressive, but it isn't the talent you would appreciate in a child. It's not the same thing you do with an adult. Now, being a gifted kid is you were given a head start in a race you didn't even know you were running. You grew up, you were being told you're special, you're smart, you're talented, even without having to try. So when you finally hit a wall in the real world and you realize your talent isn't enough, it feels like a crisis of identity. The trap is thinking your gift is a finished product. But ability is a living thing, like I said. So if you stay stuck in the formerly gifted mindset, you're living on old glory. And that won't serve you. So you have to transition from being the kid with potential to being the adult with discipline. Discipline is where it's at. You have to learn how to fail, because most gifted kids never really learned how to fail. They never really learned what it feels like being second place or third or fourth or even last. So they're afraid of not being perfect. They're afraid that they stop taking risks. So you have to just let go of that title and just start doing the work. You have to let go. Then how do you keep believing in your strength when the results don't show yet? You're not seeing results. You have to look at what's in your hand, not just what's on the scoreboard. Because if you only believe in your strength when you see a trophy, then the belief isn't actually in you, it's in the validation. Did that make sense? Yes, it made sense. I'm smart. Let me repeat that. I said, if you only believe in your strengths when you see a trophy, then the belief isn't actually in you, it is in the validation. You keep believing by looking at the small evidence of growth. Maybe the big result hasn't come yet, but are you better today than you were last month? Is your ability growing? Again, like I said, ability is a living thing. If you are putting in the work and refining your excellence, then the results are inevitable. It's like a seed under the dirt. Just because you can't see the tree doesn't mean the roots are removing. They're digging deep, they're going down. And eventually you would see it germinate. So you can trust the process because you trust the person you're becoming while you wait. Now, motivation and faith. How do they coexist without one cancelling the other out? You don't have to have faith without motivation, and you don't have to have motivation without faith. They are not rivals, they are teammates. Motivation is like a fuel in your car. Then your faith is like the GPS on the steering wheel. I hope this analogy is very right, but if your motivation is the fuel in the car, then your GPS, your steering wheel, it's your faith. It's what keeps you moving when that feeling of motivation is completely gone, because you can't rely on a mood to build a life. Moods are fickle. So when you listen to motivational speech or videos, those things, it's the same thing you get when you're being sold a drug and you get high for like a few minutes. But you can't also just sit on your couch saying I have faith and not move your legs, because if motivation is a mood, then saying you have faith without getting things done is wrong. Faith is the foundation that allows motivation to be useful. Now, if faith says I know where I'm going, then motivation is the energy that we use to get there. I don't think they cancel each other out. It's part of a circuit. It's part of a circuit and it completes it. And one of my favorite Bible verses is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And what I usually take from that verse is capacity and assignments. Those are two things I usually pick whenever I read that verse to myself, or capacity and assignments. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things is the capacity. Then the things you're going to do should be your assignments. Now I can do all things is about the strength available to you, but I can't do everything is about the wisdom of focus. Let me repeat that. I can do all things is about the strength available to you, but I cannot do everything is about the wisdom of focus. Now, you can do all things, but you will not do everything, and you can't do everything. Because no matter how beautiful, I love cars so much, but even no matter how beautiful a car's engine is, no matter how efficient, it can only go in one direction at a time. We look at the word no, and we think it's a sign of weakness, but it's a sign of mastery. If you try to do everything, you will do nothing excellently. You'll be spread thin, you'll be mediocre. You have to pick your all things. So when you say I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, all things should not be everything. You can do all things, but you will not do everything. You have to decide which battles are yours to fight, which part is yours to walk. So it's about being realistic with your 24 hours while being limitless in your drive, in your spirits. So thank you guys for listening. Peace.